without further ado, let's start with Anton. Anton, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
There's a little mic, so you might want to.
Oh yeah. Hello, I'm Anton. I worked on the Move and Morpheus, and now I'm working with Alex and everybody.
And what did you do on the Dreams Paris demo? The interface.
It's all a blur. Yeah, basically the interface bits Liam and I worked on. So the bubbles, and actually we didn't show too much stuff. We showed more behind closed doors.
You'll see more of Anton's
it's more the
work
create stuff, like the thing that created the demo is essentially.
Yeah, you'll see more of that today.
Okay, I will answer the question while you're going over there. Basically, I mean, we are seeing in Dreams this kind of a look, which, I mean, Dreams are all happy, I mean, imps look happy and everything, but there is always this, and that's just the nature of Dreams. I mean, they are somehow, they have this, like, bad, evil side to them, and those are like nightmares. So I'm just wondering, I mean, you created the LBP, which was basically, and Terraway, which are all like happy places and stuff like that. And so I'm just wondering, and I'm seeing, I mean, with all the stuff you're showing so far, that you also probably now try to search about this more demonic side of Dreams. So I'm just wondering how you're approaching this. Is it inspirational to be able to like now approach places with like more darker tones and aesthetics?
Yeah, I think like actual dreams, real dreams, we'll try and explore the complete wide range of kind of emotions and feelings. That's the idea. And I think we want to keep it a family friendly kind of thing. So we'll probably avoid, hardcore pornography and like uber gore and things. Yeah. But that's the sort of feelings that you can have in dreams. It would be a crime to not sort of explore that, and because of the graphics engine and this kind of impressionistic style that we can achieve, that does feel quite a bit more mature maybe than what we've done in the past. You can still do the fun fluffy stuff and all that, but it's nice that you can get a bit more kind of serious and mature. But,
I mean, it is definitely much wider scope than.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that's really exciting is you can do such a wide range of styles in this actually. I mean, Kareem especially is a big kind of advocate of the impressionistic loose style, and we all love it. There are some people in the office that are like, they just want to do like crisp, hardcore, shiny metal things, and you can do that as well. Personally, I think it works nice when you kind of have a mixture of the two.
Yeah, I've seen those, for example, design of mix. I mean, in one E3 bubble, I mean, it was so detailed, and that was like the hard style of the.
Yeah, that would be John Beach. He's our mech man, basically.
And the bike was also, for example, so detailed and exact and crisp. And I mean, people don't have to be like creating this if they don't want to.
No, exactly.
They have the option.
I mean, we've always wanted Dream from the start to be incredibly flexible, and I mean the cool thing is as well when you do any of these sculptures, you can actually export them, if you like, and use them in a traditional package like Unity or something like that. Okay, so it's actually it's like a genuine, valid new tool to add to your toolbox of other creative tools that you might have.
Yeah, you mentioned that in an interview, and I was like mind blown. I mean, really, you can like. I still can't understand. So you create like sculptures in this, so which is like fully custom friendly, user friendly, and everything, and you just like transport them to other engines if you wish so.
Yeah. So a couple of people asked me about that on Twitter, and they asked what the exact workflow is, and we're still experimenting. But at the moment, the workflow is through the web. So basically, a little bit like lbp.me. Every dream gets a web page. And you have permissions on there, and if you have permissions, you can click download, and it just gives you a zip file of your dream as a model, which you can then use, and it's in like a very common format, so it's easy to import into anywhere. And that's how we're doing our 3D prints right now. There's another question. Hang on. One thing I wanted to say while Anton is driving this crate demo. Again, the user interface here isn't finished, so it's a placeholder, but it gives you a feeling of being able to just, it's interesting that what he's doing is he's searching by name. So you guys were talking about how different people are good at different things. And he was going to the Media Molecule team page and he's quickly calling up members of the Media Molecule team. If you watch this back on the screen, you'll see he knows that certain people are good at certain things. But the cool thing is you can also do text search, like tree, or whatever. Okay, go and do a demo. But we found, that's cool. We found that text search wasn't actually that exciting in the end, because what's really funny is you search for something and then you don't use it for what it was originally intended for. So you just see something that's cool and you go, actually, I can scale it up and use it as a background, or I can use it as a button. It doesn't really matter. So sometimes you just see something that catches your eye, and it doesn't matter what it is or what it's called. You just use it anyway.
So this is like stuff that Menlu has made.
This is Menlu's page. He builds ladybirds, it seems.
So you can take this ladybird, for example, and so Mark's talking about the difference in controls, and one of the if you're more if you're the kind of person that sketches levels on grid paper and then kind of lays them out in something like PS4 works pretty well. You have a flow and you piece it out. With the moves, it feels a bit more like sketching. So like one of the things we could do is we do this relative zooming thing that we call. So no matter how much I zoom out, the ladybird kind of changes size based on that. So it lets you be very sketchy. Like I've made this mountain move, so you could also
mega ladybird.
It's like a ladybird mountain. So this kind of thing, like Mark was saying, the simultaneous kind of movement and rotation lets you do this kind of sketchy thing really quickly.
So to block out a certificate, we were talking, Anton and I, out of earshot, were like wondering how to show a sense of scale. As long as you keep it simple, you can actually. There's no limit to your thing. So
John Beach with the cities, yeah.
Or maybe it was John Eckersley, but
yeah.
Johnny, I think
Johnny is one of the
probably
So we can go actually under John, and then from here we can do a search for something like
building.
building.
Maybe.
Just look around.
So all those objects will have tags, I see. So
yeah, we have tags, and maybe use the pile of books.
Yeah, let's use the books. Yeah, perfect.
That's very dreams, right? It's not intended to be used for building, but now we can scale it different sizes and build with kind of background scene.
Then I could grab these things and I can put them together, and now it's kind of a new local dream.
And they don't have to be like connected to the group.
No.
Okay.
So, and we have this thing called clone tool, which lets you clone this thing up.
Show the clone tool. Show the
full clone.
Show the full clone tool. That's just cloning one object at a time.
So you can clone one, but you could also just say how many clones you want, so I can very quickly
make it street.
Yeah. And
that's really fun when you sort of do the clone thing, but scale it and twist it or something. So
whatever you do, kind of it repeats it over and over again. So I can clone, and obviously the position rotation changes, but if I scale, it's going to make it like a mini city. Yeah, very quickly you can now, this is huge, right? From the perspective of where we started, this is like a tree, and you look up, and the city books, now we need to kind of rearrange.
Put a bigger scene now, so we can rearrange it.
We can.
Is there something you wanted to, Anton, you've been silently sculpting, is there something you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, I think that just the big thing is, I think there's going to be, like Mark said, different styles of creation. Like this is a very sketchy, loose style where you just bring stuff in, you scale it however, you place it wherever.
And this is very easy for beginners, right? Because you don't have to feel like you can do great sculptures. You can just look up anything you want.
Yeah, so it's really good at basically on-the-fly creation. So, if you see stuff that kind of looks like a building, actually that might be a building. We can just kind of scale it up, add it here. And the reason that the simultaneous position rotation stuff is really powerful is it lets you kind of work off of your own creation. So by trying that out and saying, no, actually I don't like that one, maybe I'll do something, that looks cool. Kind of build off of it, et cetera, et cetera.
Can you then pick an object, one of those objects which was like previously placed, or it doesn't become like glue?
No, you just grab that pick and have it. You can have another one of those. But the thing is, like now this kind of looks like a cactus, so you might say, oh, that's cool. So now kind of take this whole thing and say, group that. Now I have this cactus thing. And this is the sort of sketchy feeling that is harder to get when you're doing, for example, this candle stick kind of thing. So that method is very good for laying out something that you have in your head already. Like if you want to lay out a level and you sketch it out, you can sort of lay it out on, like Mark said, without a camera, with a camera, it doesn't matter.
We have a grid mode if you want to.
Oh yeah. over here now. Oh, I think this thing wasn't
Presented to it.
Yeah, we'll start on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is we have a
grid.
Well, there's various guides and things if you want to use.
Yeah.
I could, the mirror. Should get maybe Kareem, you should give us an actual atomic sculpt something from scratch.
Yeah,
Next time.
I could do it.
Okay, well, Anton, give us a sculpt.
I'll
Give us a
So everything before was kind of scene assembly, which is pulling objects off the internet or off the server. But this is kind of how you
make those things.
How you make those things.
Yeah.
So Mark was saying is one of the best, simplest ways we have of creating is you just get a cube, you can stand with a cube. It's very straightforward.
And you can subtract with that as well.
Yeah.
Which is
so you can kind of flip it, cut with it. But with this you have to be quite precise with this sort of thing because obviously the cuts are very rigid. But if we use the soft blend feature we have that Mark was talking about, we can actually make really cool organic shapes just by moving edits. So this is what he was saying. It's like you could do this with a combination of forces. Like you just move it around, like, oh, that kind of looks like a neck. I think chickens are quite easy to swap.
And you can subtract with that soft blend as well, which is really interesting. So you end up like.
Yeah, I'll show you that.
The thing that this particular style of modelling really reminds me of is, as a child, you'd get the books that are like, learn how to draw Mickey Mouse, and you'd always be like, okay, it's just like, three circles and so you'll be able to have these like very simple masterclasses, like make this character in 7 easy steps, just using.
Yeah,
I think that's something really kind of empowering about that.
But yeah, you can basically pronounce something like soft blend speed and green.
That's cool.
This is a marker. So this sort of soft style allows you to do these smooth shapes quite quickly. But the really kind of more unique thing, well, not unique, a very different style is this more arc smeary style. So this is what Mark is calling the big band style of sculpture. Because you can be very generous with it because the tech is very fast. So you can lay down a lot of clay quickly, and it doesn't look like much because it's a mess of clay. But then you go in and you can cut through the same and using this one. You can start to say, okay, well, I'm going to carve some eyes out, so get a bigger cut. Or about a mouth, and you start to slowly get the shape of what you want.
Yeah. That's more akin to sort of chiseling away at something in my mind.
Yeah, and this allows for really kind of highbrow stuff, and we have a lot of interesting techniques, like obviously the adding and cutting. And one interesting one we come up with is you can spin these shapes. This is very good for hair. So
But you can also add color. After the object was sculpted, right? You don't have to be sculpting in that color.
No, yeah, of course. So I can go in and I can go to the paint tool, for example, and get now I have a paint brush. It's a very solid. But you can go in and recolor parts of the sculpt.
And you can soft blend that color as well.
Soft blend that color so you can get really nice.
More airbrush.
Can you make it not to be one type of color, but I don't know, a texture which has some kind of you painted something and you are pasting this type of.
Yeah, well, so there's the looseness thing where you can get the more textured things, but what we've avoided using sort of traditional texture maps and things like that. We prefer that you just kind of paint it because there's something a bit more understandable in it.
And you get a lot of.
We should hover on this point for a second. So that slider is absolutely key.
Look at that.
It's super cool, especially when you go to the looser end. It can make a quite simple sculpt into something really unique and special. So you did it very quickly. Let's go back to the looser slider. And you can make it looser. Right, that's the super loose end and the tight. And you can just change for every level, even whether you made it or someone else made it. You can change the looseness.
Talk about. I'll demo something really quick. So I'll do a head as one sculpt, and then I'll do a loose one.
Yeah,
hair or something.
I think this is really unique to Dreams. And then the second thing I was going to show you, which I'll show you in a minute. At the moment, we don't have icons for it in the UI, but basically we have different presets where you can control the texture of the sculpting. So you can control, like, does it look like hair? Does it look like moss? Does it look like different kinds of crazy abstract
just kind of
painting?
loose stuff.
So Anton's making a sculpt here, and he actually doesn't worry too much about what it looks like. If this is a traditional engine,
I can see a bit of Doom Boy.
you'd be worrying a little bit. You'd be worrying a lot more about the individual shapes. But the idea of Dreams is you just don't worry. You just have fun. You just muck around. Because especially if you know that you're going to go loose, and you can even sculpt while it's loose as well. Because choosing to sculpt, right?
Yeah, and the reason for that is I'll do the head block out kind of, and I'll go in and I'll use that technique that I showed you. Do a bit of hair. Probably color it up. And perfect. You can see that the paint doesn't affect the sculpt because we're kind of individually sculpting on just this bit. So then I can take this hair and I can kind of crank it up, and now I have something that combines both the tightness of the face and the looseness of the hair. And these are right now for this demo we just did a bunch of presets, so you can see what it looks like in the game. But obviously, I think Alex did like a very extensive tech demo version of this show.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of control over this in the later build, but in this build we just have presets. But under the hood, there's actually like many options and settings and choices, and so you can actually get a lot of the character of your model can actually come not from the sculpting, but from the choices you've used to make it loose. Is it a cloud? It is a cool cloud.
Animation.
Animation.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So one of the things we didn't show is how we animate this, various things in Dreams, and it's actually really easy. Ready? Hit record. I think round here one. So any operation you can do in Dreams, all you do is you hit record, you do the operation again, and that's.
Okay, I have one question regarding recording and animation. Basically, when you record something to animate, and you want to be like more complex, like you want to record it to like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Yep.
And you make a mistake like on the 4th minute.
Yeah.
Will it be necessary for you to repeat the recording for whole 5 minutes? Or
No.
will you somehow be able to enter the...
No, I spend a lot. I spend a lot of time at home making music actually, and there's a lot of analogies that you can draw from that. Like I'll play the guitar for a 3-minute song and make a mistake at the last bit. And you do not want to play the whole thing again. Sometimes you might want to, just so you don't lose the flow, but very common technique, which has long been used, and that is the concept of punching in. So you just choose to, on that, you go find your mistake, the bit or the bit that you don't like, and just re-record that bit. So yeah, that would just be cool.
Yeah.
If you've just recorded your 2-hour performance and you just mess it up in the last minute, that would be really cool. But that idea of performing is we definitely lean more towards that than we would traditional keyframing and sort of messing around with curves and things. It's because of the speed of it, you do become much less precious. So if it's a fairly short animation, it is actually quite cool just to have another go at it.
So you showed in the PS4 reveal, for example, multiple people were like recording, animating and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering now that multiplayer aspect could also be fun. I mean, for example, at home or people online, they could also at the same time like be recording some kind of a play. Like you take one take at the same time.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. If you've got a particular performance in mind or a play, you can all choose your actor and have your lines and your script and then just perform it out, or obviously just make it up as you go along, which is
I mean, it's totally cool. Like people online, like all different parts of the world, and each one is like recording the movement. They're creating some kind of a play. That sounds awesome.
And then you could make that play, or let's say you recorded the performance of a a pretend band or something, you could then use that as something to put into the bar scene of a game. So you'd walk into this room in your game, and there's a little band playing on stage, which was this 5-minute performance that you all performed together. So it's,
Okay, let's do community questions time, I think. So Anton, we're gonna wrap up the demo. Cool. Thank you, everybody.